Hey guys, it's IlonkaSims here, and I'm back with another speed build. I tried to change things up a little bit. Lately I've been doing a lot of like home builds, so this time we're doing like a public lot. It's a lounge, but you could easily change it into a bar or even a nightclub, I think. It's kind of a performance lounge, so it's like if you go to a concert, there's like a stage. Well, there's not really a stage because we don't really have stages in the game anyways, but there's a stage with some musical instruments and also a DJ table, so you could easily change it into some other kind of lot if you want to, but for me this is just kind of a performance lounge, a place where people can just enjoy music and hang out. And as you can see, we're going with a bit of an industrial feel. This build is actually very much inspired by a performance venue here in the Netherlands that I just recently went to for the first time, which is called the Melkweg, in case you're Dutch. But yeah, I really loved the look of the building. This kind of really industrial building in the middle of Amsterdam with just some like modernization things on the outside as well. And it looked really nice, and I spent all day standing outside, so yeah, that's why I built this mostly. And I just wanted to do, again, like a public build instead of a home build. So here we go, putting in a little, kind of like the miniature bridge. There wasn't enough space to build a bigger bridge. You can see later, I'll put in like fountains on the sides at the front. Here we go. Just as I said that, of course. But yeah, we put some fountains in, and I don't know, I really like it. And as you can see, it's in Windenburg. I don't know why. I mean, Windenburg is not really an industrial town or anything, but I felt like it really fit in this kind of area where I'm building it. I don't know if you guys agree. Obviously, you can place it somewhere else too, but in my opinion, it just worked really well here. Right now the building is way too symmetrical, which I will change in a little bit, but yeah, that's the thing that happened. So anyways, I just played Overwatch, the open beta of the game, and I usually don't like playing shooter games, like that's not me at all, but this is really addicting. Oh, I mean, I'm making a fool of myself. I suck because I'm not used to playing shooter games, but it's just a lot of fun. So in case you want to try something different, which is basically what I did, I was like, let's try something different, and then like got like really into the game, even though I was just dying constantly. But yeah, back to the build. Here we go, trying to figure out what I was doing with the outside. It was, again, it's just something a little different from what I usually do, which means that I struggle. I think I initially wanted to, oh no, I actually did go with the side. I was thinking like, I think at some point I considered putting like the health height, like not the double height, on the other side, but I put it on this side because we have the kind of waste area on the other side, so it worked better, I think, on this side. But this is pretty much the shape. We put a little outside area here, which I guess in my opinion is kind of like if this was the real world, this would be like a smoker's kind of area. Like if you want to smoke, you have to go outside. So here's a little outside area for you to go and smoke, which some of these dance floor things use as a glass kind of roof. I love using those as a roof. Especially with the lights in it. Like usually in a home the lights can be a little frustrating, but for this kind of build the lights just look so fucking awesome. Oops, didn't mean to swear there, but they look really good. And yeah, let's see, I think we're pretty much done on the outside. I mean, I will go back and do some detailing and lights and all that, but that's pretty much all we do on the outside. So, oh wait, we put some more windows in. Anyways, we'll start on the inside. And again, I love how this turned out. I went with a dark wallpaper and dark flooring because I don't know, in my head they always, like, it's always so dark when you go to a concert, probably because all the lights are turned off and there's no windows, but I mean there are windows in this place, but in real life there's usually not, and it's really dark, so I went with some dark flooring and then this industrial kind of brick that's painted over or whatever behind for the stage. And what I'm doing here, this looks great, I think. I put in these windows and then I put the steel beams around it from Get to Work. Delete the walls because they weren't working. And it separates this little area, which will end up being kind of a sitting area. And I also realized that I needed to put in some toilets, and there wasn't really space downstairs, so I had to make a little bit of an upstairs space. But that's okay. I mean, it looks really good, and then we have kind of a balcony that you can supposedly stand on and look down towards the stage, so that's really great. Yeah, here we go, putting in the fence, and I can just imagine, like, if you don't like standing in front of the stage and being crushed by all the people, that would be a really great place to stand and just watch a performance. But then again, this is The Sims, and that probably doesn't work that way anyways, but it's about the idea, right? It doesn't have to work. You put a little bit of this wood upstairs, which, I mean, it adds some character, you know, the wooden wall here and the kind of the brick with paint or plaster or whatever over it downstairs, they just look really good. And yeah, just getting in the basic shape of the bathrooms, which, I mean, to me they always look the exact same. I don't know if anybody else does this, but when I build a public toilet, this is pretty much the standard kind of thing that I do. I mean, I changed the colors and all that, but that's about it. I put in these really big industrial lights. Before I uploaded it, I turned down the intensity a little bit though, because it was too much, but I do love the way they look there. And we put in some wall lights on the walls because the upstairs walls were just black basically, and I mean they weren't quite black, but they were really, really dark, and this way the lights seem to go not just up but also not just down, but there will also be some light upstairs, and just it'll look better. But yeah, here we go, putting in all the different instruments, and then I decided, you know what, let's also put in a DJ table, because why not? The stage is big enough, and I mean I could put in 5 guitars as well, but that's kind of ridiculous. So hence the DJ table, and that way you can easily just change it into some kind of party, since that can't really be done with the normal instruments yet in the game. And we put in the concrete underneath the concrete is basically the stage, and then we put all these carpets there because, I mean, to me that makes sense. Like if you see a smaller performance venue, there's typically carpets because they keep like a drum kit or whatever in place, and just acoustic stuff as well, I suppose. So I put them in here as well because it just adds a little detail. And then we put in all these lights and stuff that I just kind of put together instead of just putting them separately, which I did like. And then we put in these dance floors, and then I think actually I changed the flooring to a slightly brown color to match with the dance floors, instead of the very, very dark way what it was before. Just having a look at what goes into a lounge, because I don't think I've ever built a lounge from start before. I usually stick with a bar or an nightclub because that's where I let my Sims go to most of the time. I don't typically take them to a lounge, but might be different with this lounge, who knows. But yeah, just putting some benches in the outside area, and then going back to the inside and doing this little seating area that I was talking about before. I love what I did, the windows and the support beams to separate it. Also with these windows, I mean, usually when you put in a window, like the basic windows from the game, in base game, they really start like lighting up the area as if there's like, I don't know, a sun inside the window or something. But these don't do that, probably because they have a tint to them. But that's really good because that way you can use them as kind of a partition. But I mean, it still wouldn't work if you wanted to do like a fake walk-in shower, but it works for this, so that's okay. We put in a huge rock, and then I tried to figure out like what kind of colors I wanted to go with, and to be honest, I think I just went with the blue and yellow. Again, I do that way too often these days. I really have to try and find some other color combinations to work with in The Sims, but this just seems to work the best so far. Wanted to put a carpet upstairs as well, but I don't think I ended up putting it in anyways. But here we go, we put in a bar downstairs and upstairs, so I don't know if there will be people for upstairs and downstairs, but like a mixologist or whatever they want to call it, but I just like the idea of having more than one bar. We just have the one downstairs and one upstairs. There's not much more to it, but yeah. We just put some of these base game, well, we will in a second put in these base game like shelves with bottles downstairs. But apparently I'm doing like a million other things first. I cannot remember doing this. I did this earlier this week and I didn't have time to record commentary until now because I've been busy with school. In case you don't know, I'm still in uni and I'm writing my master's thesis, and basically when I've done that I'll be done, but for now that's a lot of work and it's a very slow process, and the fact that I'm getting addicted to this Overwatch game is probably not gonna help me. But yeah, here we have put in these shelves and then we put some simple decorations in front of the window. I think we go with this bamboo thing. I love the bamboo. I actually love it so much that I got bamboo myself in real life. Does anybody else do that? Like they have something in The Sims that they really like and then all of a sudden they have it in real life as well, and you get it and afterwards you realize like, why did I get this? Is this because of The Sims? Because that happens to me way too often actually. Like I get something, I'm like, this reminds me of The Sims. Did I get this because of The Sims? Because this is really awkward. But then again, I guess maybe I'm just a weird person and I like The Sims too much. But then again, I don't think you can like The Sims too much. You should love The Sims. This is also the point where I realized that you couldn't use just simple, basic couches, but you had to specifically use the love seats, so the two-seater instead of the three-seater couches. It was just like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. It was so frustrating. But I mean, it worked out in the end, it's fine, but still really, really frustrating. They fit very nice in the windows though, but definitely very frustrating. And it made everything go a little bit like not centered. And then I made it centered anyways, but it was just, I wish they would just say you have to have a couch and not specifically a love seat. But yeah, here you go, putting in some more decorations. And I think I started putting in some lights in this area as well because I didn't want to keep the spotlights everywhere obviously. And I think I went with this industrial light, but they didn't really light up much. So I put in some other ceiling lights as well, and it's a bit light, but again I went in after recording and changed the lighting a little bit. I think I made it less, I don't know, warm. Some of the lights in the game I think are much too like warm colored. So I changed them to a more neutral white and just made them a little less bright so that at nighttime it's not just completely lit up as if it's daytime. I know there's people that do that a lot, like they go make the houses really, really bright and then it looks so that basically at nighttime it's still really light, but it's just, I like having some form of realism in it, and at least in my house usually we don't have so many lights on that it's as light as it would be during daytime. So yeah, that's why I changed the lights. But again, if you don't like that, then you can easily just change it anyways. We put some of these industrial lights above the counter as well. Again, I changed the brightness of it because obviously having the 3 of them there was much too bright, but I think it worked out pretty well. We put all these trees around the place, and I don't know what I think about having them all around the place, but I think it works. I tried putting in these lights, which I did kind of like, but at the same time they seemed much too fancy for this kind of building. So I changed it for something more simple. Yeah, some of these drink lights, I suppose. Just the yellow ones to keep with the color scheme that I had going already. And then we put this kind of decoration thing in the fountain. I don't know, I think I've seen many people do this recently, and I really liked it. And I just put this light in it, and then we have the yellow, the grayish with the yellow balls on it. I don't know what exactly it is, it's really weird, but it works well for this. I put an air conditioning and some things on the roof, which I usually don't do, but I don't know. I saw it and I was like, yeah, let's put some of these, you know, these things in that I don't think would look great on a house, but for an industrial build they work very well. Again, I'm from the Netherlands, we don't really need air conditioning most of the time, so there's very few people that do have air conditioning. For as far as I know, at least. I mean, there will be people, of course, but nobody that I know does have air conditioning, so I usually wouldn't think about it. Just put some more decorations in the little pond area, fountain, whatever. And we go back inside apparently. We put in the blackboard with, I don't know, I guess it tells you what they have on offer. And we just put some cabinets and stuff behind here, which I really like actually. It's interesting, it's a little different. I included a mirror, which is, I don't know, is that normal or weird? I don't usually go to bars. I don't like drunk people. Like, very simply said, I just don't like drunk people. So usually I avoid bars, but I mean, I've been in a bar a couple times. I don't think they usually have a mirror behind the bar, but I don't know, it felt like it fit there. Maybe the bartender wants to check his or her hair or makeup or whatever. But we put some bar stools up here, and then I think just 2 tables. I said putting in dance floors, but it's just too much. So I just put in 2 tables, and that's pretty much it, I think, in terms of like real furnishing, except for the bathrooms. You still have to do the bathrooms, but yeah, those lights didn't fit here because the walls weren't as tall. But these other ones did fit quite well above the tables. And just a few simple decorations, and we go into the bathrooms. I do use these simple spotlights in the bathrooms because, I mean, a bathroom I think should be lit up pretty well. You know how you watch like a movie or a TV show and people go into the bathroom to take a picture with a celebrity or something? I've seen that happen a couple times. And, I mean, I guess it makes sense because bathrooms are usually pretty well lit up compared to the rest of the place if you're at like a bar or anything. But we do this thing here in the bathroom with just 2 sinks and then having a shelf connector, which is, I don't know, I mean, it's not very useful to have a shelf there, but it looked nice, so why not? Just putting in these simple kind of things from Get to Work, like the paper towels and the soap and stuff. I hate that they didn't put those in the base game, by the way, because, I mean, if you're building a public lot, it just makes sense to have these things. I mean, your Sims obviously don't use them, but it makes sense to have them, to me. But yeah, I mean, the bathrooms are just exactly the same for males and females. No worries, no need to complain that female bathrooms are always more fancy, because To me, at least in The Sims, they're not. I don't know about real life. I don't usually go into male bathrooms, but who knows? I mean, if people complain about it, I guess they do. Just going around the place, putting on some speakers, and then we put some lighting on the outside, because the outside was very dark and I figured it needed some lights. It added some detail, I think. But I really struggled figuring out which lights I wanted to put in and where I wanted to put them. But I get there in the end, as I always do. I mean, that's just the thing that happens. Creative processes, you know? You mess up first and then you fix things. That's usually how it works for me, at least. So I just put them on the front and a little bit on the side, not so much in the back because it's just the back. We just put a simple light there, and here we are in the screenshots. You can also see my sim that I used to go in the game and get some screenshots. But that's it for me. If you have any suggestions for what you want to see me build, let me know. And if you want to download this, check the description. There should be a download link to the gallery. And yeah, that's it. Enjoy these last few screenshots, and I will see you next time. Bye guys!